Dear student, we know about that human being having a organ system level of organization means in our body different kinds of organ systems are present. They perform or they work in an harmony like digestive system. Digestive system they convert the complex food material into the simple one. Circulatory system they can transport the food material as well as the nervous system which can performing a coordination like that for the removing of the nitrogenous waste material in our body having a human excretory system. Now let's learn about the human excretory system. It is a front view of the human excretory system. The first one is the adrenal gland. It is also called as a suprarenal gland because it present at the top of the kidney and superior position of the kidney. Now this one about the renal artery. Second one is a renal vein. Now this one is a left kidney because of it's a front view. So this one side is a left one. This one is a right one. Now here is again a dorsal aorta. Dorsal aorta. Here is a ureter. This ureter come out from that kidney and again meets to the urinary bladder. Next one is a urethra. Now here is a inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava they carry the blood toward the heart. That's why they call the inferior vena cava. It's a position of the pelvis. This one part is the medulla and the outermost part of the that kidney is an cortex one. We know about that. This is a right kidney. This one is a left kidney. Right kidney is always located slightly lower than the left one only because of the largest gland present above the kidney and this nothing but a liver. Liver is the largest gland present over that kidney. So that's why they pushes toward the periphery but just slightly. Now we know about that in an liver, in an human, in an adult human, there is about a 1.2 to 1.5 kg of the weight of the liver. दिस इज अ ॲक्टिव्हिटी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. अशा प्रकारचे प्रश्न तुम्हाला परीक्षांमध्ये विचारले जातात नीटमध्ये, CET मध्ये किंवा बोर्डच्या स्टेट बोर्डचे जे एक्झाम्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा लेबलसाठी तुम्हाला याच्यातल्या कोणत्याही 2 लेबलसाठी प्रश्न विचारला जाऊ शकतो. नेक्स्ट वन is the position of the kidney. It's a front view. It's about a left kidney. This about a right kidney. Now ureter arises from here and they meets to the urinary bladder. Their location. They are located 12 thoracic to the 3rd lumbar vertebrae. So this is about the position of the kidney in our body. Now it's a side view of the kidney or it's about a peritoneum. Peritoneum, that's a parietal peritoneum. Look at this. This one is a visceral peritoneum and this one is a peritoneal cavity की ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये उदरपोकळी असं म्हणतो. Now let's study about the kidney. Here we are going to study about the excretory system in a human being. First one point is an kidney. Here is an shape. Kidney. They are pair. दोन असतात. A pair of bean-shaped kidneys present on an either side of the backbone. पाठीच्या कणा जो आहे त्याच्या दोन्ही साइडला राइट साइड आणि लेफ्ट साइडला असतात. Their position is about 12 thoracic to the 3rd lumbar vertebrae in an abdominal cavity. Kidney are present behind the peritoneum. Just we discussed in an earlier photo. Hence called as a retroperitoneal. Now what is the meaning of retroperitoneal? So retroperitoneal means the peritoneal covering only on an anterior surface, means the kidney having only at the anterior surface there is a peritoneal covering, not a whole kidney is covered one. So that's why here we use the term that's a retroperitoneal. Now their dimension, each kidney having a 10 by 5 by 4, that's a 10 centimeter long, 5 centimeter is their width and 4 centimeter is the thickness. Now average weight is about, in a male it's about a 150 gram, while in a female is about 135 gram. Now their shape, the outer surface is a convex and inner one is a concave one. It having a notch-like part, that the inner concave surface is called as a hilum, while like a notch-like part. Look at this picture. It's a notch-like part. This one is a notch-like part is a hilum, while the renal artery enters and renal vein leaves with a ureter through the hilus region. Look at this region. This one is a hilus region. This one is a hilus region. It's a innermost concave or notch-like part, while this one is a hilus region from which the arteries are entered one, veins leaves, as well as the ureter also leaves from that kidney. So this is about the kidney. Now the structural and functional unit of the kidney is nothing but a nephron. Structural and functional unit of kidney is a nephron. याच्यावरती खूप वेळेला प्रश्न विचारला जातो. Which is a structural and functional unit of kidney? Now our answer is a nephron. And each kidney having a 1 million nephron. Let's discuss about the second one point. That's a ureter. Look at the structure. They are 2 in number. Ureter. They are 2 in number or a pair. They are muscular, long, tube-like structure. Their length is about 25 to 30 centimeter in long. They arise. Ureter arises from hilum region and enters at the base of the urinary bladder. They have a separate opening and they are not guarded by any kind of valve or the sphincter muscle. While they are passes from the pelvis region to the urinary bladder, they meets urinary bladder obliquely. So only due to that they prevent the backward flow. Now the functions of ureter. Functions of ureter, that is, they helps to transport the urine from pelvis region toward the urinary bladder. And in an urinary bladder there is a temporary storage of the urine. Third one point of human excretory system is a urinary bladder. Look at this structure. It's a urinary bladder. It is median in position, pear-shaped structure. It is a hollow, muscular organ, hollow पोकळ असतो, muscular organ, and at the base of that urinary bladder, there is a small inverted triangular part. So the base of urinary bladder, and it is the apex of the urinary bladder. So base of the urinary bladder, there is an opening of 2 ureters. There is an opening of 2 ureter, while the apex there is a single opening is a urethra. It is a pear-shaped gland. Now this one part is related with a urinary bladder, and it is a temporary storage of the urine. Look at this picture. Here is a position of the urinary bladder in an pubis region. So there is a base of the urinary bladder, and here is the opening of the two ureters. At the 2 points of the base of the triangle are opening of the ureter. Urinary bladder is externally covered by a peritoneum. Inner to peritoneum is a muscular layer, and it is a form of the detrusor muscles. These detrusor muscles, which consist of the three layer of the smooth muscle. Yes, we know about that. This smooth muscle is nothing but a involuntary in function. So they having a three layer. First one layer of that detrusor muscles, that's a longitudinal layer. Second one is a circular layer, and third one again is a longitudinal layer. Innermost of this layer is made up of the transitional epithelial tissue. This question asked number of times in a NEET exam as well as in a CET exam. This bladder helps to stretch, means these kinds of a detrusor muscle, they helps that urinary bladder to stretch when the urine is accumulated inside that bladder. Their main function, the first one function is it's a temporary storage of organ, and second one is it helps to explain the it helps to expel the urine. That's nothing but a micturition. Fourth one point of the human excretory system is a urethra. Urethra is a fibromuscular tube-like organ which arises from the apex of the urinary bladder. It's a base of urinary bladder, it's the apex of the urinary bladder. Now there are the two urethral sphincters are present between the urinary bladder and the urethra. So urethra open to the exteriorly, that's outside to the body. In an urethra there are the two main kinds of sphincter. These two sphincters are the one is the internal sphincter, second one is a external sphincter. Internal sphincter, which is made up of the detrusor muscle, and these detrusor muscles are involuntary in function. Involuntary means which is not control of our willpower. While external sphincter made up of striated muscle, and these striated muscles are the voluntary in function. Voluntary aichic, involuntary unaichic. It's not control of our willpower, it is under control of our willpower. If this wall is not functioning properly, means the internal sphincter and the external sphincter. If this wall is not functioning properly during an inflammation of bladder, it can lead to the kidney infection. Now, the functions of the urethra. Urethra is a passageway for discharging urine from the body, and in a male, it acts as urinogenital organ, means it is a common passage. Urethra is a common passage for the discharge of urine as well as a spermatic fluid. So in male, it called as a urinogenital organ, that's nothing but urethra. Let's learn about the next one part, that's the functions of the kidney. Functions of kidney. First one, control of solutes and the fluid, means that's a osmoregulation that can maintain the homeostasis. Controlling or the osmoregulation means controlling salt and water balance in our body. That's a maintain homeostasis. Now again, it can maintain the blood pressure. It can maintain the blood pressure because of secretion of the renin. Now the third one function is a acid-base balance. In our body, it can maintain the pH of our body. It can ranges from 7.35 to 7.45. So for that, they can maintain the acid base balance in our body. That's a maintain the pH of our body. Next one function is a drugs metabolism and the excretion. That's a metabolic waste. The nitrogenous waste material, they are eliminated from our body through the kidney. So their main function is the metabolic waste excretion. Different kinds of medicines, different kinds of pigments, they are eliminated from our kidney. So again, this is one of the function of the kidney, drugs metabolism and the excretion of the pigments. Now last one is an endocrine function. Endocrine function, the kidney itself secretes substances like a calcitriol and the erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, which helps to production of the RBCs, and the calcitriol, which helps to formation of the bone. So these are the different functions of the kidney. Let's learn the process of micturition. Micturition means nothing but elimination of urine from our body. So an average capacity of the urinary bladder is about 700 ml. Now, when the urinary bladder is half filled, they can transmit this impulse toward the stretch receptor toward the spinal cord. Stretch receptor present in an urinary bladder, they send this information toward the spinal cord. Now, in a spinal cord, there is an micturition center. They initiate desire to the expelled of urine, and that time the reflex center, which is located at the spinal cord, they transmit such kind of impulse toward the wall of urinary bladder, and the internal urethral sphincter, that's the internal urethral sphincter, they can receive that impulse, and due to that one, urinary bladder muscles, they get a contract. Now this internal urethral sphincter get relaxed. In an earlier part we studied that there are the two kinds of sphincter is there, internal urethral sphincter as well as the external urethral sphincter. So internal urethral sphincter get relaxed when they receive that impulse. That muscles of the external sphincter, when they receive impulse from the brain, now that sphincter get relaxes and results, that's the expellation or the elimination of the urine. So this is the process of the micturition. This starts from the half filled of the urinary bladder. Now they transmit information towards spinal cord, then they receive that impulse, and again from that spinal cord they transmit the impulse, and the result, that's a series of reaction is occur here, and elimination of the urine takes place.